When I say color lad, you have Washem Washai, belongs to the apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to all the brothers in the highway and byway preaching this word in sincerity and in truth with much honesty. You know what I mean? And the brother Shapar, I'm a James Jamaica camp. And what we really want to get into today, basically, being in this truth, see, especially brothers just coming in, you know what I mean? You should know that by coming out with the scriptures, against this devil, the so-called white man, seeing that you make yourself an enemy against the establishment, man. Seeing because what we are speaking right now is contrary to the so-called white man way. You know what I mean? Is moral conduct. You know what I mean? Is political way. You know what I mean? And you know, every aspect of this is lifestyle. You know what I mean? So right now we are in contrary. You know what I mean? So he is seeing us as his enemy right now, and you should also see him as your enemy. You know what I mean? So this is our battleground where we're at war with the so-called white man. You know what I mean? Maybe not on a physical standpoint, but you know, right now at this point, because the so-called white man will take it physical as time go by. But right now we actually fight a spiritual battle against this man. You know what I mean? And you have to be aware that, look, man, seeing he's out to get us, he's out to overthrow this thing of ours. You know what I mean? So just to give us some information how the so-called white man see us and what are the different means and ways in order to try and take down this truth. You know what I mean? Because believe it or not, whether I'm already covertly, overtly, he's trying to take down this truth, man. So we just are going at 2 articles. I might have here pause on the screen and then bring out to a scripture and then hit that. Okay, this is the first article dealing with Project Megiddo. See, when anybody coming in new, Project Megiddo basically is a FBI. But the FBI put together basically to deal with certain extremist group basically come against the establishment, and we are listed on Project Megiddo also as potential threats. You know what I mean? So we're just going to read the heading, you know what I mean, through the listing and then continue from there. This is Project Megiddo. Okay, it's the the attached article. The attached article entitled Project Megiddo is an FBI strategic assignment of the potential of domestic terrorism in the United States, undertaken in anticipating of our response to the arrival of the new millennium. So this was set up. When the year 2000 was coming about. The certain extremist group basically, who believe. Certain extremist group who believe in certain interpretation of the Bible, as I can see here. You know what I mean? Certain apocalyptic belief, you know what I mean, religious belief. So if I believe that America is going to nuke by thermonuclear destruction, or the so-called white man going into slavery, this world will get overturned and start back afresh, so-called white man have a deemed as a terrorist, man, a potential terrorist, man. See, so these are the people that basically so-called white man have on watch, terror watch. You know what I mean? Just to let you know. You can see here from Christians all the way down to Hebrew Israelite here. You know what I mean? Because we are the ones that basically, believe it or not, Christians is no great threat, but this is what the threat here for the so-called white man. As I can see now, the Israelite thing get blow up in a certain way now. So you have certain cracker coming out the woodwork. You know what I mean? Trying to debunk. You know what I mean? Or to overthrow this thing. You know what I mean? Because you can see that the camps are waking up all over the world. You know what I mean? All over the world, I check. You have a James camp popping up. You know what I mean? The whole Caribbean. You know what I mean? Through all the states of America, or from the east. You know, so in Africa, you know, so this thing, him start to see that this thing is getting very serious, man. And the more serious this thing get, you know what I mean? Guess what? Him gonna go more harder, man. You know what I mean? It's gonna reach the point of violence. You know what I mean? Where I'm gonna set certain certain groups up in order to take them down. You know what I mean? Mainly we're speaking about the Hebrew Israelite, which we are not black Hebrew Israelite, as you can see on the screen here. I'm going to put out that buzzword, black Hebrew Israelite. So we are deemed as terrorists according to Project Megiddo. You know what I mean? So just to let you know that this is one of the mechanisms that the so-called white man use right now to overthrow certain movements when we see as a threat. You know what I mean? So just to get the idea in how this thing work. Alright, this is Cointel Pro. You know what I mean? Some brothers already know about this, but you know, just to bring it out again, you know what I mean? Keep repeating these things, you know, start to sink in. Anyway, see, let me read some of this right here and then continue. Okay. It said, within 1 year of the formation of the Black Panther Party, the FBI established a special counter-intelligence program called the COINTELPRO to neutralize political dissidents. See, because hey, hey, believe it or not, see, they vision us as that same political, they vision us doing that same political dissidents. You know what I mean? We are seen in that light also. You know what I mean? Because as I said, we don't go according to the establishment. See? Now, it was originally said, as you can see, when the Black Panther movement did, which we know really, Black Panther movement is basically a joke now. It get infiltrated, as this can show you. You know what I mean? And get messed up. But anyway, we continue. Yeah, political dissidents. Between the year 1956 and 1971, the FBI used the COINTELPRO program to investigate radical national political groups for intelligence that would lead to involvement of foreign enemy with these groups. See? So you know, all them groups will sound like as if them not really sound with what the establishment is dealing with. Seeing them say you can link with foreign, you know, the enemy basically. Like how them say Donald Trump now link with Russia, them foolish, them can't say, oh, if a war take place now, them can under the grounds, them can lock you down in martial law. Because remember in a World War II, what them do to the Japanese basically, seeing is something similar to that. You know what I mean? If you associate with Japanese, if you have Japanese family or whatsoever, you get from as an associate, you get put into a concentration camp because you can potentially link with the enemy, you know what I mean, and cause problems. So them say if them groups here can link with the enemy, basically is that what them alluding to, you know what I mean? So, but we know, you know, the whole background deal with the so-called white man is trying to pull here, you know what I mean? But anyway, let me continue. Investigation. Okay. Yeah. The Communist Party is one, them say. The Socialist Workers Party, the white hate groups, like we are white hate group today in 2017. You know what I mean? Not like General Grievous or trying to say, oh, them don't hate the white man. No, you have men like Nate. Certain men in the Nate camp now. Nate basically, because if him sit around the table when the man said that. So yo, if the man them find a talk against the so-called white man now, them are gonna shut down the camp. You know what I mean? They show you say yo, these men are just some paper soldier, you know what I mean? But anyway, white hate groups, black nationalists, which we are, because we're looking forward for a kingdom which is going to be reigning over all them other kingdom on the earth, reigning in righteousness, starting with the Lord Yahushua. You know what I mean? So we as a nationalist group, you know what I mean? The Black Panthers, you know what I mean? The Black Panther Party was specifically targeted and bore the brunt of most of the damage. See, so right now you don't really have a Black Panther Party now. You know what I mean? Because it's all infiltrated by agents, and it now a sway, you know, the direction of the so-called white man wanted to sway. You know what I mean? So it's all a sellout institution was set a lot of you niggers up who wander away from what the real truth is. You know what I mean? Even the other groups like Nate Group and General Grievous Group and some other Israelite group when I bring out the fullness of the truth, seeing them groups seeing well infiltrated and have all different type of agent, and they're going to angle where the so-called white man wanted to go. You know what I mean? Because believe it or not, this man deploy agents, you know what I mean, in them camps, man. Even in JMS you have agents that get deployed into the camps, man. You know what I mean? But hey, I would remain in the spirit and everything will work out fine. You know what I mean? But anyway, we'll continue. It says, according to the FBI document, one of the purpose of the COINTELPRO program was to expose. You notice some man coming up, boy, exposing the Hebrew Israelite. Yeah, some man coming up exposing GMS. You know what I mean? See, yeah, we see them. We see them all the time. Yeah. So guess what? These men are part of what? COINTELPRO, FBI program. Yeah. So we continue. Expose, to disrupt. See, you see certain man come in and try to sow discord among brethren. You know what I mean? You have the Avenger gang. You know what I mean? Some of them niggas are agents, man. Agents try to overthrow things. You have men making multiple channels, hacking into people's shit, you know what I mean, putting bad things out there, you know what I mean. Enough of these men are agents, man, you know what I mean, trying to disrupt and overthrow the truth, you know what I mean. But it will prevail. Yeah, Lord, the hour shy thing, yeah, you know, I can't stop it, man. Yeah, it's like a juggernaut, as the apostles would say. But anyway, to disrupt, you know what I mean, to misdirect, like man like General Grievous are trying to say, oh, this thing is about black people, you know what I mean, it's about hating the white man, only God hate the white man, you know, he's bringing men to some farmer boot camp, having the man going on a rifle range, learn how to shoot guns and all them things, playing off themselves as a violent extremist group, you know what I mean, and that's them could set up the whole Israelite movement for being violent extremists who have guns. You know what I mean? That's what them niggas doing, man. Setting up the whole entire thing. You know what I mean? That's when the so-called white man ready for running him can justify coming in for these groups, man. That's what's gonna happen, because guess what? Sooner or later I'm gonna put a shooter or somebody out there, say the Hebrew Israelite mowing down people, you know what I mean, a false flag type of event, and I'm gonna use it as justification for running on these camps. This is all the methods where the devil uses. Scripture says we're not ignorant of the devil's devices, man. These are some of the devices that we use, you know what I mean? To misdirect, all right, discredit, because you have a campaign now in order to discredit the Hebrew Israelite. You have them white crackers coming out because they make it seem like it's a far-fetched thing for us to be Israelites, man. See, like the hardest thing to comprehend. Say, yo, we are the true biblical Israelite. When the scriptures find it out plain and straight, and there's no evidence for nobody else be Israelite but us. But they might make it look like it's the hardest thing. You know what I mean? You have men like Vocab, Malone, and all them. Yes, enough of these men are just agents, man. You know what I mean? Agents coming in. Because believe it or not, the program is saying this. So who is doing it now? Obviously the men them doing it. These men must be the agents, man. See? Obviously these men must be agents, man. See, who else is doing it? See, apart from these men what we see on the comment board every day, you know what I mean, men making expose videos, you know what I mean, men trying to disrupt things among the brotherhood. That's how them are gonna manifest themselves. You know what I mean? Because guess what? The spirit have a way to show what is not of the spirit, man. It's just like you have some form of splinter go in your flesh. Even if your bone break and you have splinter, you know, it basically the body force it out, man. You force it out, push it out. You know what I mean? Because a foreign object. You know what I mean? So the body have a way to push it out. You know what I mean? So the spirit itself have a way to expose certain men who are not flowing according to the natural flow of the spirit. You know what I mean? Because if a carnal come into this thing and do all them shit, seeing automatically. We're seeing over and over again, men being manifest that look, seeing them wasn't with the flow of the spirit from all along. You know what I mean? Being carnal because, hey, I find a precept right away. I have a precept on all, but I just look for a different precept in the meanwhile. 1 Corinthians 2, I think. Let's see here. 1 Corinthians 2. Yeah, 1 Corinthians 2 verse 14 it says, but the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, seeing, for they are foolishness unto him, seeing, neither can, let me just scroll down a little, neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. So you have men who come into this thing and then can play the role and act like them, you know, act them the hack play the role, you know, like them are Hebrews, them all in the spirit, but guess what? See? You have certain barrier where them cannot cross, man. Certain things where look here, you gotta stick out like a sore thumb. You know what I mean? So whether agents of the camp, yes or no, we know what the spirit are going. The spirit are going to weed out certain men. You know what I mean? See, you have to become obvious that you are agent. Hey, we can see by the actions of some of you niggas that you are agents, man. That's what the spirit weed out things, you know what I mean? It show you the difference between carnal men and spiritual men. You know what I mean? But just to emphasize, seeing that look, man, we're having a battle right now, seeing a serious battle, because guess what? The so-called white man sees us as an enemy combatant. So right now, I'm gonna use psychological, you know what I mean? From an information standpoint, I'm gonna use information war against us. I'm gonna use disinformation and all them other things, man. Putting out false news, trying to wear you out, you know what I mean? Bringing up certain things, you know what I mean? See if we can get if it throw you off from it. You know, the prophecies them, you know what I mean? A lot of them things that will take place because, hey, look, see, the scripture say when them see us, it said a great fear fell upon them which saw them, man. Just paraphrasing the scripture. You know what I mean? So believe it or not, so-called white man fear us. So, and if he's fearing us, guess what? He have active agents working to disrupt and overthrow, you know what I mean? As the article finishes. As the article I'm keen to highlight here, it said, look, it said them come forward, expose, disrupt, misdirect, yeah, yeah, discredit. You know what I mean? Just like these men trying to show like this thing. I mean, but this is the point where I'm pushing now. It's a or otherwise neutralize, because this is the when all this thing go down and the so-called white man say that look, none of them agents are the men them put to do all the above. See, when it don't work, guess what? He's gonna try and neutralize these groups. So we're at the point right now where we're gonna set up these groups as some violent extremists where we can move in on us, man. This is where we're moving towards now. So some of you Negroes are part of them groups where these men basically are misdirect you. A lot of you all get caught with the pants down, man. You get put in a concentration camp with a RFID chip. That's what's gonna happen, man. See? Because this man actively working, you know what I mean? for draw men away from the reality of the truth, man. See? And Nate, one of them, Nate camp is one of them camps. We're doing that, man. It's like a piper, man. See? Bringing all the rats to go drown them. You know what I mean? Well, anyway, see? It say, yo, to neutralize. See? So, you know, that's what more you want getting up. I'm bring up one more precept before me wrap up all things. You know what I mean? It's Ephesians 6 and 12. Say, let me go up further. It says finally, so this is Ephesians 6 verse 10. It says finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. You know what I mean? And in the power of his might, put on the whole armor of God, that he may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Cause them things here when them man, all them comment board and all them things, the men trying to come for disrupt the whole thing. Guess what? Those are just the wiles of the devil, man. You know what I mean? So we're putting on the armor, we're learning this knowledge, and at the fullness, how we're supposed to learn it, as we can see these men for who they are. You know what I mean? Let me continue. Okay. What's of the devil? Okay. Let's highlight it before we read it. It said, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principality and against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. See? Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may able to stand, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. You know what I mean? So we wrestle not against flesh and blood, because hey, right now it's not a physical war. We have a spiritual war, info war. You know what I mean? The truth versus lies, man. You see me? The truth versus error. You know what I mean? That's the warfare we're in right now. As I said, the so-called white man are going to bring it physical one at a time, because they're going to send in the stormtroopers, man. You know what I mean? So at that point we're coming to. But with that we say, Kalalali, how about Shemi was shy? You know what I mean? Shalom to all the brothers them and sisters, basically, we keep tuning into the videos them. You know what I mean? Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. You know, Shalom.